How's it going, guys? Mark Bursteiner here with Techno Buffalo, and I thought it might be a fun thing to do for you guys to get to know me a little bit better, to do a fun, old-fashioned what's on my phone. The very first thing you're going to notice is that I forgot to start recording on the phone so that you guys can actually see my screen. So I'm going to start doing that right now, and you'll see how I'm using that. I'm using an app called Record. I believe it's just called. It's a really, really nice app. It's really powerful. You can record your entire screen for up to 5 minutes, and you can even record audio off of the mic. So now that you can see my phone, this is my home screen. Be kind about, seeing my personal stuff, but that's, that's okay. You might be able to tell I'm kind of like an efficiency kind of guy. I really like to be able to use my phone as efficiently as possible. So when I set up a home screen, I want things to look and behave as efficiently as I can. So what I like to do is put things together into folders, which you can see here. And so that first folder you see up at the top is food, to order things. I think Seamless was recently updated, so it fell out of there. This is my daily folder. This is what I'm looking at on the daily basis. I'm a big Destiny player, so Destiny's in there, obviously. I have a Nest at home. I use Foursquare to find, great places to eat, to hang out. I have a SmartThings hub at home, which takes care of all my lights and hooks up to the Nest and does all that stuff. I'm big on Vine. I like watching Vine in bed, stuff like that. And I've been using Falcon Pro as my primary Twitter account, Twitter app for quite some time. But I don't know if you guys might notice in some of my reviews, I've been toying with Phoenix as well, which I really, really like. And that's been fun. The next one down is, I'm going to skip the games one for just a second because that'll be its own category in and of itself. The next one down is the utilities folder. You've got like all that stuff in there that it's not stuff I'd use every day, but it's definitely stuff that I use regularly enough. You've got Trello in here, which I use a lot for organization with my wife. You've got Yelp in here, which I use less than Foursquare these days. Simple, I love Simple. I've been a Simple member for years now. Amazon, obviously, for those fun impulse buys, things of that nature. And then you've got a media folder down here for Netflix, HBO Go, Plex, and YouTube. Big on Chromecast, big on watching YouTube videos. Down here, you can see I use Pocket Casts for my podcasts, of course. And that is easily the best podcast app I've used on Android or on iOS. Either way, it's beautiful, it's material, it's responsive, and it syncs. If you pay for an account, you can go to beta.pocketcast.com and it'll sync your place in all your podcasts. It's just easily the best podcast app I've ever used. Up here you see a Feedly widget. That's kind of how I get most of my news these days. I don't really sit and read RSS feeds anymore. I just kind of cycle through whatever's up here. And then of course my Hangouts widget, which is my primary mode of communication, whether it's SMS or actually on Hangouts. Don't worry, we'll come back to the games folder. Don't worry, don't worry. Up here we've got Audio, which I use for my music. I use this sweet app, Weather Timeline, for my weather. And I use this partially because it's gorgeous and partially because it works really well with Android Wear. It's got great, really rich cards for your watch, which are way, way richer than anything Google Now offers you, which I think is fantastic. And then, of course, you've got Evernote here, which I kind of live and die by. Anything I write down, I put it down into Evernote. I've got a ridiculous amount of stuff in there. So you see, I pack all my stuff into just 2 pages, and then everything else that I don't use, I just throw into the app drawer. Been playing around with Slide for Reddit. It's not quite ready for prime time, but it's gorgeous. I use Strava to track my bike rides to and from work. What else is on here? Man, there's so much stuff on here. Lakitu for watching Twitch streams, of course. Stopped using the Facebook app. I started using Metal, which is basically a material skin on a browser. I use Musée for my backgrounds, which I have cycling through the 3 Destiny subclasses, the new Destiny subclasses that are coming out very soon. And then, of course, I think we would be remiss not to talk a little bit about that dock down at the bottom. Sonos is one of my favorite products on the planet. I adore Sonos. I have 2 of them at home. Live and die by that when it comes to music as well. Inbox for email. I've got a handful of things in there. Should probably blur out. Reddit Sync, which is easily my favorite Android app for Reddit. It's just far and away the most feature-packed. The Nexus 6 obviously has an AMOLED screen, so it's got an AMOLED mode, which I adore, which is great for when I'm in bed, the lights are off. And I try and stay on the Chrome beta. Sometimes some things break, but I run the Chrome beta basically full time. What else do we need to get into here, huh? Let's see, what else is on my phone? Google Opinion Rewards, if you haven't used them. I've got 236 in play credit, but I've gotten a crazy amount of money from answering these surveys that I spend, you know, in the Play Store if there's anything that I want to purchase. All right, so I guess it's probably time to take a look at that gigantic games folder, shall we? So in here we've got, let me just rattle off a bunch of the games in here because I play a lot of them. Two Dots, which is excellent for puzzle type games. I play that one with my wife a lot. There's Ascension, which is a deck building game, so if you're into Dominion, Ascension is a great digital choice. Dominion doesn't have a great Android option at the moment. Hearthstone, which I'm sure you're very familiar with. Play a lot of that on mobile. Their players have actually gone out of control on mobile. There are even more there than anywhere else. Got a handful of multiplayer games here too. Space Team, which is super fun. You can connect to other players right in your vicinity and you're just constantly yelling at one another. What else have we got in terms of multiplayer? Boundin', which is a game I like playing with my wife a lot. It basically forces you to dance. You hold this end of the phone, I hold the other, and we have to use the accelerometer to get things to the right place. So much fun. Been playing a lot of Adventure Capitalist, which is a stupid, terrible game. I can't encourage you to get it, but I've been playing it a bunch. Been playing a lot of Alpha Bear, which is a lot of fun. It's a game from Spry Fox. Those guys are really, really cool. And this is kind of one of the games that it has become a kind of a go-to when I have a free minute. It's basically like a word game. You gotta figure out, you know, what words you can make from what's actually on the board. You can see here, so like here you can write bait, right? But then all the rest of the blocks are gonna count down and the ones that hit 0 are gonna turn into rocks, so that's no good. What else do we got? Let's see. Fallout Shelter. Obviously, Fallout Shelter, if you're excited about Fallout 4 coming out soon. We've got Agario, which is a lot of fun as well. Wave, which if you're into Super Hexagon is a great choice also. Star Realms, which is another deck building game. I'm huge into deck building games, and of course I keep my Humble Bundle app here as well because there's just an incredible amount of games that I've purchased over the years via Humble Bundle, and they're all great, and not all of them, but most of them are great. Inside the app drawer, I've got a handful of other things, but you'll see I try and keep things, for example, like this Destiny. I don't need this here. I have it on my home screen. I like to hide things inside the drawer so I can just get all the clutter out and behave as efficiently as possible. That's a quick look at my phone. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have anything that you think I need to use, need to run, anything fun or cheap or helpful or some good games, whatever, you name it, let us know in the comments. Be kind to each other down there, and I will see you guys in the next video.